Exploring innovation space. In this part of the module, we're going to look at a few exercises and activities to help you think about and explore some of the themes that we've been introducing during the module. Now, one of the first things we've talked about is the idea of innovation taking place along a spectrum of novelty, from incremental right the way through to radical. So here's an exercise to help you think about that. Pick a case study. Take perhaps the imaging industry, the music industry, the lighting industry, or one that you're familiar with. And then try and map the different kinds of innovation in each of those cases. Which ones were incremental innovations and which were radical, perhaps even discontinuous? Why do you think that? Try and think of examples to support your answer. You can also find an interactive quiz around this topic of classifying innovation on the website. Now, one of the other things we talked about in the course was the idea of innovation taking place along many different directions. And we introduced the idea of an innovation compass. 4 Ps, the 4 possible directions of innovation. Of course, we can do innovation in between those as well. So here's an exercise, or some exercises, to help you think about that. Once again, look at the case studies of the imaging, the music, the lighting industry, or another one that you're familiar with. And this time, use the 4 Ps framework to try and identify examples of the different types of innovation: product, process, position, and paradigm. Once again, if you want, you can find an interactive quiz to help you explore this concept of the 4 Ps. There's also a video film of Finnegan's Innovative Fish Bar. It's a small business, essentially a small restaurant, a cafe serving fish and chips, but there too, innovation can be classified using the 4 Ps. So have a look at that film and read the transcript if you need to. And then try and find another example of a small business and see how you might use the 4 Ps to think about how they're innovating in their business. Now, the third theme that we introduced in the module was the idea of different levels of innovation, from components right through to systems. So once again, here's an activity to think a little bit around that question. Look at those case studies once again: music, industry, imaging, or the lighting industry, or any other you're familiar with. And this time, try and identify in those histories of those sectors what changes were at system level and which ones were at component level. Now think of the players in those industries, and what were the implications of those different kinds of change? Where were the threats that they needed to respond to? Where were the opportunities? And here's a little framework to help you think a little bit around that question.